Right, so this is Great Britain versus Canada under 23 men's, coming live from Hobart, Australia. I'm here with Moses from Canada.
Yes, Zach. Yep, nice to meet you.
And yeah, we're going to be sort of commentating on the game today. Quite an interesting day for Canada today.
Yeah, they had a bit of a rough start this morning. Hard-fought game against New Zealand. Definitely a little outclassed in that one. Looking for a bounce-back effort here this afternoon. And how did GB do this morning?
GB was 10-0 against USA this morning, so quite a good start to the day. But I think we're looking to continue that streak, hopefully.
Very nice. How have they been doing so far in the tournament as a whole?
Yeah, not too bad. The under-19 men are doing quite well. I'm part of the under-19 men, so I'm pretty much always going to say that. But yeah, the under-23 boys, they had a loss yesterday, but they've started off today really strongly, and long may it continue.
Well, let's see what happens off the strike here. Looks like we're down to just a couple of seconds left.
Yep. And there we go. So we've got GB in white and Canada in black today. Canada starting off the strike quite well.
You're going to be looking to try and play that channel as much as they can. Many of the Canadian players are relatively new to the sport. This is the first time that Canada's fielded a U23 men's team, so definitely trying to keep it more simplistic in play and gain some experience and work through this world.
And GB have just made a breakaway all up the pool. Taking it to the corners there. Just along that back wall.
Trying to drive that wall there, yeah.
Yeah. Got a lovely view of the ref here.
Hard push. Oh, did it go in there?
Oh, have we got the first goal? I think we have our first goal, yeah. So that's, 1-0 GB. Do we know who scored?
Thought I saw number 2 there.
Was that number 2? So, number 2, Joe Moss scoring for that one. There we go, setting up for another strike. Just under a minute that goal, I think. So quite a quick, very strong start from Canada, but
a lot of hard pressure up that back wall there. Had a hard time dealing with clearing that back into the corner.
Another strong start from
nice
Canada.
Push.
Going up the side there.
Nice curl back.
Nice turn.
Oh, nice move there to drive it back into the channel, drive it back up the wall. Good support. Got to watch out for
wall, GB. Come on.
Yeah. Got to watch out for that swing there. That'd be a good chance for GB to roll that play open a little bit. Keeping him tight though.
And there we go. There's the support from GB coming through.
Good second push there.
Yeah. Good support from GB, but it looks like
nice
it's dried
patience.
up a bit. Yeah.
Nice patience.
Number 2. So Joe Moss again, the guy that's just scored, is taking it on. Oh. Flick straight through.
Oh, there's the first swing of the game.
Yeah.
Good roll.
Nice switch. That's by Martin John Turner.
Cut back to the middle. Really trying to drive that back wall.
Oh. Another goal. No, not quite. Back flick. And another back flick. Wow. Canada keeping out really well.
Right on the tip there.
Lots of people down from GB. Oh, there we go.
Looks like he pushed it in.
Did we see who scored? Oh, is that a no goal? No goal, so that fisting and barging through from GB.
Advantage for Canada.
That'll probably have been Tom Burgess. He's known to be quite a dirty player.
Good opportunity for Canada to consolidate here, move it back over and calm things down a bit. Tough spot in the middle of the pool there. Yeah, look to string it, throw it right up to the wall right
those
away.
Channels, tell you what's impressed me about this pool. Even going through the day, it hasn't clouded up. So I went to Spain 2 years ago, and that was pretty horrendous due to sun cream and the pool being churned up by the end of the day.
Absolutely.
But this pool's really done quite well in keeping clear.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference in the stream. We got a call here. Let's see what the call was.
Stick infringement to Canada.
Advantage GB.
It's gonna be GB's free puck. Interesting subbing by GB, quite a long way.
Hasn't been a lot of stoppage in play though, so you got to take your opportunities when you get them.
Yeah, really good playing of advantage from the refs this tournament. I've noticed it quite a lot. It's really made the games quite smooth.
Absolutely. I was coaching the U19s here and coached as well in in Spain, and one of the tricks I like to do just for my own training is in Spain I would go down and do a static hold during the play.
Right.
When there's enough calls, you could go down and do a nice 45-second hold, pop up and do it. But with the advantage plays here, nice long sustained plays,
Yeah.
I gotta say it's outstripping my ability to hold. So
if you look at the
I gotta
surface, you
change
can
up.
really see it.
I gotta change up my strategy a
all the
bit.
time.
Absolutely.
I can't quite see what's happening here. I think Canada are
Got an
pressing quite
advantage
hard
there.
up that wall.
Yeah.
I think they've had a bit of a spurt from this morning's game. GB really struggling to turn around those channels.
Once they get that momentum rolling.
Yeah, hopefully. There we go. GB having a bit of a go up that wall.
Nice drive in there again.
Lots of support. Canada appear to sort of struggle with the turn and swing out.
Yeah, they're
maybe due to they're quite a young team.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is the first Worlds for pretty much everybody on the team. One of our former U19 players, Remy from Gatineau, is playing, as well as one of our former U19s from Cornwall, Casey. I think they're the only two players on this U23 team that have previous Worlds experience. Everybody else will be their first taste of Worlds level hockey.
And it is very different. I'm sure you all know, but it is very different to club level hockey.
Absolutely, yeah. The little mistakes you can get away with in a club game that you
Absolutely,
just can't make in a Worlds level.
GB just coming up the back wall here. I'm not quite sure what's happening in that corner, but Canada appear to be quite big and strong in putting it on that wall. But it's whether GB can swing it around.
And there's what's going
push
for a nice 45 drive there.
Is it in the goal? Looks like a goal for GB. That's another goal. Yeah.
Is that
Who's
number
that?
7? Looks like
Number
7. Number 8.
8. Oh, a goal from Adam Coote. It's very rare to see him on the bottom, as sticks generally float. But Adam Coote with that goal there. He's one of the sort of under 19 men that have made the jump to the upper section this year. We've got a couple here. We've got Douglas Samuels, Adam Coote, and a few from the under 19s from Spain. So the Spain team had Tom Burgess and Rupert Ironside Smith.
Are the GB players from specific clubs across GB? Or are they pretty well spread across the nation?
We have a pretty good spread. I know Tom Burgess sort of set off something the other day by creating a north-south split. But we have a really good spread. So we have people like Tom Burgess from Team Southwest, all the way up to Scotland with Dave Bruce and a couple of other players there. But it's quite a good spread from England.
Very nice. Lots of chances for guys to get together and train and train as a team.
Absolutely, yeah. It's we're not quite as big a country as yours, so we can possibly get together a bit more.
One of the challenges we have, the Canadian U23 are actually predominantly from Southern Ontario and Quebec. Whereas our U19s are predominantly from Calgary, U19 boys, a number of the girls, and then from Ottawa. So it's interesting to see. We've got definitely sort of hotbeds of hockey within our country, and usually what we do, we can't get together as much as some of the other countries do, so we often try and build chemistry within those clubs, and then have components that come together within our national teams. We've got a call here.
Oh. And that's against Canada. That appears to be a...
Not sure what that one was.
Didn't quite see that one.
Yeah.
It's just in that back corner, so it's really... It's not too difficult to see, but it's quite hard to see details at this range.
It's a good opportunity here for GB to really force that net. Nice positioning of that puck.
Absolutely.
Timeout Canada.
We've got a timeout for Canada here. I think Canada are doing quite well this game to really sort of hold GB out. I mean, 2-0. We are already something like 7 or 8 minutes down, so that's really quite well in Canada's favour there.
Yeah, they're putting in a strong effort, and I think it helps that looks like GP is looking to play a channel game as well and drive a bit more, not too much in the swing. As you said, the Canadian boys are pretty strong group, pretty physical. You can see Mac sitting on the wall there, looks a little winded, but some big boys there, and they don't mind getting into the dirty stuff along the wall a little bit. So I think right now for them that the styles of play suit them fairly well.
Absolutely, and it's testament to the referee's ability to play advantage as well, because obviously with two big teams like this that want to smash up the walls, you do. Oh, GB subbing Oh no, timeout. Sorry. With two big teams that want to smash it up the wall, you do tend to have a few more fouls called in there.
Look at that nice big push. Everyone's down on the bottom. All 12 players down, engaged there.
Oh, and I think GB have got it.
Looks like they came off the edge there.
Oh, there we go. Another goal for GB. So that's 3-0 to GB with 8 minutes down. Number 5. So Billy Sarsfield, another Northerner.
Nice mixing around of the goals. Looks like today we've got a number of different scorers come from the GB team there.
Absolutely. With two big teams that want to smash it up the wall, you do tend to have a few more. Another replay of this in there.
Look at that nice big push. Everyone's down on the bottom. All 12 players down, engaged.
Just
Right on the backside there.
Just GB making that push. And off with a strike again. Canada get it and
good
take it wide again.
That, yeah, they like to get that out. Need to get that arm bent a little bit on that forward play there. Makes it really difficult to try and control the puck when you get that arm.
It's good that it's up this wall. Yeah, absolutely. It's good that it's up this wall because we can see quite a bit more. GB with a big push there. Nice flick over.
Good push back to the corner for Canada.
You can see they're naturally taking it to the walls.
Just trying to contain, just trying to get the containment up there. It's okay. If GB wants to swim that into the corner, Canada doesn't mind. We'll let them take it in there and then just set up a little bit of containment.
Interesting plays going on here. Lots of Canadian players on the bottom. That's and straight back into the corner to safety.
Settle it down a little bit. Yeah, settle it down. Make sure everyone's set, fresh, ready to go again. And now we'll see the push.
Oh, there we go. Nice push from Canada. Really strung up those walls. Oh, but GB have made a swing and
they caught him through the middle there. Yeah, off in the 45. It looked like to me. Of course, the danger is you try and come out of that corner a little too fast, and you can really open yourself up for that swing play. So, really got to be careful, and that's the intent there. Obviously, trying to slow that down, make sure we've got everybody ready, everyone to drive together, and try and contain that play in the channel and really drive up that wall there.
I think he did his best there. He sort of took it into the corner, let everyone sub, reset.
Absolutely, yeah. Take advantage of the set box.
One of GB's strengths is to turn it out of the corner and make that 45 when all of the players have crunched in.
Yep. Well, it's the second and third waves, right? Really makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Oh, another pass off to the edge there for Canada. Oh,
still a little bit wobble off that just that possession.
Bit of miscommunication there from Canada. Oh, nice turn though. Straight back to the wall. There we go.
There we go. Get those legs moving.
Oh. There we go. Lots of people on the bottom from Canada. Nice push.
Oh.
And another call from the ref for barging.
Oh, 2 minutes.
2 minutes out. Who's that for? Number... can't quite see. Do we know who it is? Just so five from GB.
4 minutes left. It's a good opportunity right now for Canada to put some pressure on.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can see 5 Canadians on the bottom with one sort of hanging off the side there.
Yeah. Need to keep those feet moving though.
Oh, absolutely.
Good cycle there.
Nice cycle, yeah.
I don't know about you, Zach, but I often find that the 5-on-6 really doesn't make a huge change in the flow and pace of the game. It's usually need to get into those 6-on-4 scenarios where you see a real chance to really put that puck in. But somehow it always seems like that 6-on-5 doesn't really result in the kind of pressure you might want.
I think what happens there is you just get a sort of adrenaline boost, and you just you really start absolutely going for it. And 5 people, fully speeding through the pool is possibly sometimes better than 6. There are a lot of occasions where someone's come out and they've actually gone on to score.
Yeah, especially in that sub box there. Canada's got to be careful playing right out of the GB sub box. You get some fresh bodies in there, and it's amazing how fast that counter strike can occur.
There's another call here against Canada.
Illegal knockdown.
Yeah. Canada not looking too disheartened after this morning. That's quite an impressive sort of comeback. Yeah, I know it was a tough morning.
Yeah, tough morning. You got to take your knocks and learn from it and move on. And these guys, I mean, they came in with their eyes open. They understand that, like I said, this is a team that doesn't have a lot of world's experience. And there's going to be games like that where you just get outclassed from time to time. And so this was an opportunity for them to come in and grow and set some realistic expectations. So I think by and large, it's just, as a coach, it's all about framing, right? How do you frame the experience and understand what you're going to get out of it? So I think Jordan, their coach, is a very experienced player. He's been playing for a very long time. Started when he's 5 years old. He's seen a lot, and so he's been able to work with those boys as well to build a quality culture within the team to come through and gain this experience and learn as much as they can from it. They're not looking to score a gold medal here. They're looking to come out, compete, and more than anything else, for all of our Canadian teams, we're really wanting to set that precedent and understand that, you don't want to play against us. We're hard teams. You might beat us. We might get shellacked from time to time, but you're going to get out of the water and know that you played a hard game. So, with that mentality, these boys are going to work their butts off and really, really drive and make sure that GB knows that they've had a good competition at the end of the game.
Absolutely, and from personal experience, when you go back, this is the best game, international level hockey. This is the best game that these guys are probably going to play until the next World. So
absolutely,
coming back, it does give you a sort of boost. It really, really improves your game, just even going to the Worlds and participating.
Absolutely, absolutely. Some nice play in the middle there. It's nice to see it opened up a little bit. They definitely took a chance getting into the opposition zone.
Absolutely. Lots of good swimming.
Be curious to know exactly what that conversation was. I suspect that was a set play off that timeout there from 2 minutes left, so that should mean we should be coming back to even strength here if we're not already.
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, looks like there's coming the sub right there.
Yeah. Canada not looking too tired either. I know it's quite early on in the competition, but Canada looking pretty fresh. Like you brought a few big guys.
Yep.
But they look fairly good.
Well, and this team is lucky. Unlike the other Canadian teams, these guys, they've got 11 on their team, and so they've actually got a guy that can sit. And a lot of the other Canadian teams, we actually struggle a little bit with our numbers. I think we're 8 and 9 across the other teams. So the U23 men are in a stronger position in that way to keep themselves a little fresher and keep that energy level up, not only through the game but as the tournament progresses as well.
Absolutely, yeah. GB just making interesting sort of parries along the wall. It's very sort of ping pong style.
Yeah, give and take a little
going
bit.
Going up and down. There's a big
Nice
run here from
there.
GB. Maybe
it looks
don't know
like
whether this will result in a goal.
We'll see the second effort push there.
It's
Good
whether
fight
GB are going
back.
to bring it across.
You're going to try and get that
near
full
guy,
corner.
yeah.
Yeah. Canada's driving for that corner.
The Canadians trying to sub out. But
careful with that sub there.
Yeah, that is bit of an interesting call there. Oh, a heavy drive up the wall from GB. And
A
is
little
that in?
slow. Yeah, looks like it is. A little too
there we
late
go.
on that return back in on the player there.
Unlucky with only 45 seconds left, Number 2, so that's
Joe
that's
Moss
Joe
again.
Moss, yeah. So 5-0 to
there,
GB
yeah.
with
That is,
30 seconds to go. Bit of an interesting another call replay
So
of
there's that sub coming in just as that
a
puck
heavy
lands in
drive
corner
into
there.
late. I think there's a big. I think they noticed the sub going out and a big drive.
Yeah.
Only sort of 15 seconds left now. Doubt there's going to be another goal. Oh,
Yeah. Oh well, it comes straight up
through
the middle.
Wow.
It looks like they turned it though.
Yeah.
Roll it out to the
Just
wall and
managed to
settle
take
it
out
down.
to the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
Out to safety, and with that big push, that's sort of half time.
And there's the half.
Absolutely. Interesting half. I think even though sort of the scoreline says one story, I think Canada have done a really good job. It's not been a battering like it was this morning. It's been a really good sort of up and down game.
Yeah, and especially the there's definitely a couple strong pushes off the start. Set a tone, but I think ultimately through the second half of that half, the flow of play really seemed to even out a little bit territorially as well as on the scoreline. So I'm curious to see if they can get a good push coming out in the second here and see where we go.
I think GB may have come into this game sort of thinking that it was a bit too easy. I think that'll be the talk from Coach Graham Fletcher. Sort of this half, just boys, pull it out now.
Yeah,
because they do appear to have been a bit lax, but you can never be too careful with a team like Canada.
Absolutely. The level of play at this competition is so tight. You take your foot off the pedal for just a moment, and you can anyone can score on anyone. We've seen that in a couple of the games already. A territorial advantage doesn't necessarily end up resulting in the scoreline you'd expect.
So how are the Canadian sort of teams? I know you brought 3 this year.
We brought 4 this year.
4?
Yeah, it's the first time that we've had all 4 at an age group Worlds, and it's hasn't been the start that we would have liked. But yeah, no, we're doing well. Like I said, many of our teams are sort of more at the development stage. This is the second time that we've had a U23 team out, but again, not bringing a full team. They were pretty thin. We had 1 sub. I think we had 1 sub in Spain.
Wow.
And or was it Team 6-pack even? I can't remember. So a lot of the girls, you know, it's one of those scenarios where you come out and you gain that experience, but ultimately, if you're not bringing you know, even a sub or a couple of subs, it's pretty tough to do too much in the tournament. So it's true of a lot of the Canadian teams. It's really, we're looking at developing our junior program and trying to grow it and get to a point where we can have some really solid competitions and bring 12 to these events and go from there. So really lots of learning.
Absolutely.
Whereas it looks to me like the GB teams are doing pretty well. I know I've watched a couple of the GB U19 boys teams you guys have played, and you seem to be doing pretty well in the standings.
Yeah, the under-9 teams this year, we've been quite lucky because we had 7 of the sort of players that we had this year went to Casilium.
Yep.
A couple of years ago. So it's really been that. So we've had that core element to then build on with some really fantastic players from Great Britain. The under-23 men's have been doing quite well. They had a good day today, and the women's have been doing fantastically. The under-19 women's, we brought a sort of a younger team this year, trying to develop them for Sheffield 2019, and they've done really, really well. We've been very surprised by their results. They've been doing really fantastically.
And here we go. Started the second half.
And
that was a tight one.
Nice contested strike there.
Yeah.
GB really making that drive. I think they've had a bit of a
really pushing through.
I think they've had a bit of a kick at half time.
Yeah, looking to set a tone, it looks like to me. Yeah. Driving into the corner. Definitely trying to get that containment going again for Canada.
And you can see there are very few black cats on the surface here.
Yeah.
You know, they are constantly down.
Yeah, but you can see the pressure GB's putting on, and you look at those black cats, they're facing backwards. They're looking to come in the back check as opposed to, you know, turn that momentum and get the swim on there. So you can definitely see the pressure that's coming as well. The boys are working hard.
Absolutely. But GB's main game is being sort of cut off by Canada at this point. I think because you brought quite a few big boys, we're being sort of pushed into the corners where really we would like to turn it and run that 45. Yeah. Tied in there. It's just being crushed into the corner. You can see them setting up for this 45, but it's just not. There we go.
Give it a try. Good pressure, though. Good pressure across.
Absolutely.
Curl back.
Possibly bringing it back across.
Foul
against GB that time. Barging. That's against, I think that's Joe Moss. Yeah, Joe Moss there.
Good explanation. Doesn't look like he agreed with it there, but looked like the ref gave him a solid explanation.
I think we really ever do agree with him.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the rules I have for my boys is you just never talk.
Oh, absolutely.
The ref's word is gospel, right or wrong. It is what it is. And
I've been thrown out of far too many games for back chat now.
Yeah. Advantage for Great Britain and a 1 minute kick out for the Canadians.
Oh
there.
Wow. Do we know what that was for?
Subbing foul. Yeah.
Okay.
And they've sent Francois Lavoie for the Canadians to be one of the players out of Quebec City.
Mm-hmm. That could give GB quite an advantage up that wall.
Popping it through. Do they get it?
Yeah.
Pushing hard.
They're doing very well to keep it out. Lots of goal line saves, but I think that one's just gone in.
Yeah. Makes it really challenging. The pool bottom is so fast. It doesn't take much to keep that puck sliding and just slide it right through the crowds there.
I think these boys have had possibly an easier day today.
Yeah.
It's just 6-0 with 12 minutes to go for GB. If Canada keep playing like this,
popping it through, do they
could
get it?
potentially at some point, if you have any quick
hard.
players, get a runaway maybe. Well to keep out lots of goal
there's
line
a couple,
saves,
and I know actually I was speaking with the coach Jordan just prior to the game, and he did mention he's made a couple of changes in his lineups. He's moved Remy, one of the backs, actually one of the more experienced players on the team.
Wow, I've just seen his name.
Yeah, Saint-Pierre Charbonneau. And he moved him from a defensive position to a forward in hopes of getting a bit of a run up there. As I mentioned, he was one of the players who played with me on the U19 team that I coached back in Spain as well. So he's one of the more experienced players on this, world experienced players on this team. So they're definitely looking to try and get a little bit more of that speed and drive off the top end of their formation.
Absolutely, and that
big
goal was
swing
from,
and a big drive by GB there.
Yeah, absolutely. That goal was from Rupert. He was one of the boys that went to Spain actually for the under-19s, and we quite like to liken him to sort of a Jack Russell because he's just always at your heels. He's just so much back tackling.
Yeah. Lots of tenacity.
Yeah, I hate playing against Rupert.
Oh, another push here.
Another big push.
Lots of little cutbacks. Get him to bite on the swing and then cut back to the middle from GB. There it is. Let's see if there's any fouls there. No, it looks like a clean goal.
Looks like a clean goal. Quite a direct route through, and that's number 3.
Number 3.
That's from David Bruce. That's from one of our our Scottish players. There we go. I think we're going to have a replay of this, so you can see just
through. Do they get it?
Yeah, big push through there.
Pushing hard.
They're doing very well to keep it out. Lots of goal line saves, but I think. Oh no. Oh, another Canadian player out. Those chairs are quite sort of skittish, I noticed.
They're a little wobbly.
I got out earlier and nearly had a bit of an interesting time on one of those chairs.
Well, that's Mackenzie Edwards. He's actually a former New Zealander who has moved up to Canada and joined our U23 team, bringing a bit of a foreign taste and some new knowledge to the group as well.
Nice push there by, I think it was Adam Coote. No, number
6 looked like.
Number 6. So Martin John Turner with that big push up the centre there.
Oh,
number 12, Tom Burgess.
Popped a little early there.
Oh, Tom Burgess with the foul.
Oh, with an elbow.
Tom is our resident sort of lady killer. So you're going to have to beware at the after party girls. But yeah, another foul by GB there.
Good chance to recover here for the Canadians. Reset after a lot of pressure from GB there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice hard fight. Lots of bodies down.
Lots of bodies on the bottom. There we go. Oh.
Good drive through there by GB to push the momentum.
Canada really going at him, yeah.
A good back check there. Looking for a little bit of support.
Against GB again. Encroachment. Wow. Maybe someone getting team warning here.
It's been interesting. I was speaking to one of the refs earlier on. They've been talking about they're not doing as many team warnings at this competition, looking for more individual warnings for players that are doing repeat fouls, as opposed to penalizing the whole team, really focusing on saying, look, if you're the guy that's doing the stick infringement, we're going to start giving you the kickouts as rather than warning the whole team. And it makes a lot of sense to me. I think, the team fouls really needs to be applied more when it's across the board, where it's a consistency within the game plan of the team to maybe play a little physical, do a little barging, whatever it may be. So definitely another change in the way the games are called, and I think ultimately making a good difference here at this Worlds compared to the last.
Absolutely, and I had, in fact, had that exact same conversation earlier as I was being thrown out. But yeah, so GB making quite an interesting push into the corner here. There's been lots of corner work this game. It's a shame that they couldn't actually bring it to this corner, but I think they're trying to keep it away from Canada's
the sub box.
Sub-bench, yeah.
It's always a lot more dangerous if you can get as we talked about earlier on, the counter strike of someone coming fresh out of the sub box.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know how many times we've, in my experience anyways, and I'm sure in yours, you've seen those breakaways come where it's pressure. Someone overcommits, you get fresh legs in the water, and boom, it goes all the way back the other way for a score. Nice angle. Oh, good stop. Nice knockdown. Watch that curl
nearly
back.
There by.
And a good back check there by number 12. Sam. Nice job by Sam.
Staying down by Martin John Turner there.
Trying to fight that back into the corner.
Yeah. Fighting that back up the wall.
Caught in the fins a little bit.
And just trying to get into the centre. You can see
peeling
it out of the thingy and trying to get it on that 45.
They need to peel that a little bit wider, I think. They're trying to pull it back in so tight, but the Canadians are back checking hard along that back wall there. And now we're into the subs. You can see the subs flying in there. Let's see if that changes the momentum of this shift hitting that sub box.
Absolutely. So a big scrap up this wall. I think trying to make the
here's a
switch.
swing.
Oh, there we go.
Under pressure.
Nice Canadian pressure there.
Under pressure.
But just got it away.
He got his 2-on-1 there. Back across the other side of the pool again. Coach is down. Yeah.
We've just been sort of not had a foul for a good 30
Nice
seconds
open
a minute
play,
now,
yeah.
so it's nice open play, and we've had several moves in that time.
Yeah.
But it's
Lots of
really good work. From
on the trough. Inches short of a goal there.
That's 2 that they've just nearly got on the trough. I think maybe GB getting a little bit tired as they finish up this game.
Just that one more kick, right, to finish that play.
And another. Do we know what that is?
Advantage GB for
nice
open play.
Now, so it's nice open play, and we've had several moves in that time.
Yeah.
So as we
see
go
that
up,
flick
just
come up?
really
Right
good
on
work.
right on the trough. Yeah.
But you can see the
Thanks for the
Canadian
replay.
players
That was a
really
good one.
backtracking. You know, even if they weren't going to get it, they were still backtracking for
full
it.
sprint to come back. Yeah. Yeah. Big push now, big pressure.
Big push from GB.
It's always so tough to defend right in front of your net. You can see the guys lining up.
Maybe
sideways. It's so tough to get your spacing and then really be able to get a good hard push when you're so tight to your net like that.
This is just a big melee now. Oh, Canada getting it out to the wall again.
Call though. Let's see what it is.
Encroachment.
Oh. Another chance for GB here.
I'd noticed as the Canadians came forward, there were lots going around the wall and there were lots going through it.
Yeah.
But maybe just one of those boys.
Well, you got to watch those. Got to watch those subbing there. You can see him subbing. You got to make sure you get back in around the ref there before that play starts.
Yeah. Another big push. Yeah, you can see the Canadians going through.
Going down a little too fast. Yeah.
The puck just getting sort of trying to be bashed back into the middle here.
Yeah.
And another
see,
goal.
we're gonna get it. Oh, yep, they got it in.
Yeah, there we go. And that's number 11. So Douglas Samuels. Douglas Samuels, another under 19 that's jumped to an age group this year.
Boy, the GB team is really spreading the goals around here. They've been able to get a lot of different guys involved.
Absolutely. There he is, Dougie.
Looking like a timeout being called here.
Yeah, GB timeout.
It's deck ref Phil Hickey from Colorado.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the things we do a lot of playing back and forth, obviously, in North America between Canada and the U.S. and get to know all the players pretty well. It's like any hockey community, it's a pretty solid group, and so it's always fun even you come across the world and see some familiar faces, or in Phil's case, familiar beards. He's pretty proud of that sucker.
We have it's just nice for us guys to come out here. I think it took most of us about 2 days to get out here in total, so that was about 36 hours flying, but
we were about the same.
Yeah, it's nice to be sort of away from Britain for a little bit.
Yeah.
Gives you a bit of perspective with all sort of Brexit and Jeremy Corbyn and Theresa May. It's just
everything else going on.
Nice to get out here and just play some quality hockey with some other world teams.
Absolutely. Do you guys tour around Europe very often and get out and play the French and play the other European teams?
Yeah. There's sort of Euro tournaments every so often. We have lots of players here. Tom Pitchforth on the under-19s has actually got onto the elite squad this year for the Euro tournaments, which is in about 2 or 3 weeks actually. Coach Graham Fletcher also playing for the elite squad there.
Yep. We've been actually working more and more on the elite side, men's and women's, with the we did prior to the last Worlds, there was a training camp in Hawaii, and Aussies and the Kiwis, the Colombians, the Americans and the Canadians all got together and played for a week in Hawaii. Fantastic opportunity. And really, it's so important if you're going to get growing your skills and growing your hockey community to get out and play internationally. So
especially with class teams.
Huge
such
drive there. Look at that pressure, eh?
Wow.
Another one goes in. Just unable to turn that pressure out to the outside. GB just drove right through them.
That's number 3, I think. 2. So that's number 2. Again, Joe Moss. I think he's on his hat-trick this round, so very strong player from the north there. But, it's a lot of... should we just have
really, it's so important if you're going to get growing your skills and growing your driving. You need to get out and play internationally.
These players on the outside, especially with class teams,
huge containing it
on the outside that are just contained. And even if you don't get the puck in that position, you can just bash it back into the center.
Well, especially in a pool bottom like this where that puck slides so well, it doesn't take much of a chip to just keep that moving, keep it sliding.
Yeah.
Trying to go right back up the middle again.
But Canada's
they got
still,
him turned and pushed.
even 9-0 down, they're still putting up a fight.
Absolutely, they're not going to give up. Those boys they're going to fight it all the way to the end.
GB with another big push. On the inside,
There
you
they
can
go.
see there trying to get. Oh,
Trying to slide it back under. Nice little try there, but the Canadian defender held his spot.
oh.
Didn't give it up.
Adam Coote just
Body
sending it straight back to the Canadians there.
Body position so important. Got to get down and be square in those plays.
5. So
Keep those feet kicking.
We've got Bill. I don't think Bill was too impressed with the ref there. Here we go. We're going for a big push with GB here. You can see the Canadians lining up along the wall, though.
He's just
really impressive.
Just waiting for him to pull it out. I mean, ultimately, as far as the Canadians are concerned, that puck is in their corner. That's fine. You know, there's no rush to go out and get it out. You can allow the GB players to come out and start that play for you, take that pressure off, and then once they bring that puck out, just turn it and take possession and drive it up the wall. So you can see, you know, just sitting and waiting in that back check position, waiting for that curl to come and then take it and go.
And it is so important, that back position.
And just letting that patience. That's one of the things I find, especially working with U19s, is trying to get the players to understand that balance between intensity and patience. That you don't need not every touch of the puck needs to be a goal. Sometimes the right thing is to sit and wait. And other times like this, just that hard drive. You just got to get those legs pounding and just go.
Big push. I couldn't quite see who that was, but a big push by GB. Just really getting it up the wall here. See, they're pulling it out and trying to sort of push it into the centre.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked that time, but
trying to get that swing move
against big teams, that is sort of the way to go, because if they're really crunching it down the wall, you can just
almost a beautiful knockdown for defense there. But I think the player followed his shot and looks like we put it back in the net again.
Have we? Yeah, there we.
There
what
it
I'm
is.
really liking is these tins. I've never seen tins that have been painted before.
Yeah,
that's quite cool.
And they're plastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah.
I have a scar on my finger from when a tin went through it, but it's really nice not to have that sort of that sort of risk.
Well, minute and a half left. Coming down to the end of the game here.
10-0 by GB to Canada, but I don't think that really tells the entire story. Canada have been making some big pushes up the wall.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like I said, you know, one of the goals for this Canadian team is really make sure that people feel like when they get out of the play, that they feel like we had a game. That the scoreline isn't necessarily an example of how the effort
another
required.
Good push there.
Absolutely, and you can see bodies down, good support.
Down, yeah. It's just GB.
Nice form, just good. Again, keeping those legs driving. 2-on-1.
I think GB making a big swim here.
Back to the middle.
Yeah, there we go.
Good support.
Oh,
stuffed.
12, number 12. That's Tom Burgess, again.
Oh, they popped it out to the middle though, and they got the swing across the net.
Absolutely. Tom Burgess toasting the opposition. But again, it's I didn't quite see him. I think the cameraman's number 3. Dave Bruce with another cracking goal up that centre line. I think there's a lot of sort of bad luck from Canada because GB are just turning it and doing those big swims.
Yeah. They're out to the middle though, and they got the swing across the
definitely
net.
Oh, hey, what? Tom Burgess.
Just the replay.
Oh, we didn't quite get that.
Just the replay there. Yeah.
Just the replay of who scored there. So a white goal by David Bruce.
Got a timeout called.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Just getting set for the last little bit of the game here.
Absolutely. And I think this might be another wall drive by Canada or GB, just sort of keeping it safe for the back end of the game.
Yeah, well, and sometimes it's nice too. You got the timeouts as a coach. I think it's nice to use them. You especially give the guys. It's been a hard-fought game. Give them a little break and make sure you can finish nice and strong at the end of the game.
Absolutely. Canada still going out with an absolute a cracking strike there. See that?
Oh, nice.
They're still, even 11-0 down with 20 seconds to go, they are still fighting.
They want that. It looks like they've called a pizza play here. They're trying to drive it right up the middle.
All right.
Basically what GB did to them earlier on in the game, and just try and keep that contained and just power.
Oh, I think
we've
GB
lost
just
bodies though. Yeah.
To the world.
Yeah. Nice swim back.
Yeah. And with 5 seconds to go, I mean, that is a very good game.
Well, there we are. 11-0 final for GB. hard fought. Again, as we talked about throughout the game, definitely a hard fought game. I don't know that Scarline necessarily represents the effort that the players put in on that one. I think they'll get out feeling like they had a bit of a dogfight there. But
I feel like Canada just lacking that
outclassed.
final touch, just that sort of that really driving force to just get those goals. But apart from that, the effort was truly superb. Lots of good goal line saves. Really, really good. I think we've got an interview coming up
From the coach, I expect.
Possibly from the coach. I think players
From the
have been
coach,
doing
sorry. From the sofa, from the Glory Days couch.
Couch. Oh,
Couch,
yeah. Sorry.
yes, as opposed to the coach. Excuse my Canadian accent.
It's all right. I completely
Should I call it a Chesterfield?
Possibly, yeah. I think we've got
Nice
another
open
replay
play,
coming
yeah.
up now just before
Nice
that.
open play.
This is of
We
the
had,
Yeah.
several moves in that time.
the 8th goal
Yeah.
by GB. You can see
Lots
there.
of-
Really good work.
Oh, right on the trough.
A really quite good, but
Just a little too much pressure.
just a
a
little
little
bit
too much pressure. Yeah. Well, and it's the second and third wave players, right? It's that first player, second player really pushing the defense as hard as they can, and then ultimately that the third player or the fourth player coming through creates that breaking point, and
absolutely.
and that's that kind of team pressure that's going to
Get to
result in
know
those goals. All the players pretty well. It's like any hockey community, it's a pretty solid group.
You can
and
see both
so
players
it's always
sitting on
fun
the
even to
sides,
come across the world
breathing
and
quite
see some-
heavily. It certainly has been a dogfight of a game.
Yeah.
And as custom, both teams going shaking hands with each other, and then the ref. I think we will have an interview from the couch at some point, but I'm not.
All right.
Right.
Well, Zach, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely, Moses. And I wish Canada and the rest of your teams good luck with
You
the rest
bet.
of the tournament.
We'll see you on the last day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
U19, and we'll see you around the pool deck.
Absolutely.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and if you've been enjoying the streaming, then the great setups as well as the commentaries have been put out, we encourage you to jump online and donate to the GoFundMe. Do we have any contact information on that?
It's in the information on YouTube.
On the YouTube line links, there are details on how you can go on and donate to the streaming, and we hope everyone's enjoyed the game.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
left field. No, we've got nothing. You got me now? Okay, so we've got no camera for this court too because the camera's way down that way, but we are actually live now, Jacob. So I've got the Canadian number 14, the captain there. So tough game, 11-0 against GB there. Going into that game, what were the focuses?
You know what? We just wanted to play our game, drive up the channel, swing when we can, and have a lot of fun, hopefully put one in.
And how are you going there? I think you're coached by Jordan this year. You know, obviously he's a bit of a Canadian hero, I imagine.
Yeah, you know what? His hockey skills are pretty good, but most of the ladies know him from, I guess, sort of the inter-court mingling. So he's a very well-known player all across the world, I'd say.
Yeah, look, not only the ladies, mate. I've had him throw himself at me a few times on various presentation nights. He likes to chase after a winner. So, mate, look, thanks for coming over. I got a message for the Canadian fans back home.
I think I left the stove on. If someone could deal with that, that'd be great.
No worries. Thanks for joining us, mate. And I've got the vice captain from GB here, number 12. Do you want to introduce yourself, mate?
I'm Tom.
Tom, pretty good win for the boys there.
Yeah, worked out well. We had to work hard. They had a good defence. We had to work hard to get freedom on the puck to play our game. But yeah, it worked out in the end.
And how are you finding the pool here in Hobart?
Oh, I love it. It's so slippy on the bottom. You get so much skills on the puck, and it's so wide as well. So it really works well for our game. Yeah,
the full-size championship courts really make for an interesting game. And the GB teams are all tracking really well here. Your under-23 ladies knocked over the French girls before. Your under-19 boys really ticking along nicely. And you guys with a victory there. Is Team GB doing something different this year?
Well, we're training harder. We're putting in more work. You know, we really want to get those medals this year.
Well, good luck for the rest of the comp. And have you got a message for all the GB fans back home?
I'm pretty impressed that you're up this early. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for supporting us.
No worries. Good luck in the rest of the tournament. Thanks, Tom.